Don't panic about my burettes. They will zero above zero.
Okay.
I need a 10.
Okay, we're going to graduate some of your age.
Hey, can I ask this?
Janet.
No.
Yeah.
So we can add your star shell, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
Just make a note right here.
You just gotta keep doing it.
Okay, and what did you decide?
With the first one.
The first one, the last one you did was better than the middle one. And for some reason, something went did, I'm not sure, but you found it, okay? So that's why we had you do that. Now, if the number was funky in another way, then we look somewhere else. So the first thing we did is alkalinity. You got your average between your two tests was 49. The actual answer was supposed to be 51. So you got what we call a 96% recovery, which is absolutely great, okay? Hardness, guys, you guys did the same thing. You guys got your average was 111. It was supposed to be 110. Okay, you guys got a 100.9% recovery. Now, the reason it's higher is because your answer was higher. Does that make sense? Because we take your answer divided by what it's supposed to do. So it can be, okay. Dissolved oxygen. We had you run 2 tests out of the same bottle side by side. What should have happened, DO folks? You should get the same, okay? And then I asked you, when you came back and you had the exact same answer, I said, I'll take a look at your burettes, and what did you guys find out?
All of them have a
You
lot of
use the 1/10 of a mil, which isn't a big deal, right? Okay? One was 3.5, one was 3.6. You ended up with, when you compare those two numbers, you ended up with a 97.2% recovery. So that's perfect too. And had you been farther off, that would have been fine too, okay? So just checking your technique there. pH, this is the one that is really, it's a test of, this one is more of a test of the meter than it is of you, so long as you do everything right. And your meter is still functioning very well. You got 7.93 and 7.78. If we average those two, you would probably get what the real answer was 7.83. We didn't average them, we just took them, so one of them was 102, 101%, the other one was a 99%. So your meter's doing well, your technique is good, okay? The other thing we did, and so we said we could have 2 mistakes here. We could have a personal mistake, or we can have an equipment chemical mistake, right? Okay, so what did you do, and what did you do?
Oh, we ran it with your equipment. We ran hardness with your equipment, and then we ran it with our equipment and compared our results.
You did what? Alkalinity?
I did alkalinity.
And what did you guys find out?
That I got the same answers both times when I
And-
did them the exactly same way.
And I got very close.
And so you were 120 and 120, so you got 100% recovery between those two. So that not only tests the technique, but it also tests what?
The equipment.
The equipment. And so that's why we do that one. So if we get something strange, we know, where the problem is, okay? And you got 260 and 264, which is, that's still dead on. And so you got a 98.4% recovery on that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So if you take a look at your numbers here as a group, you guys are just awesome. You guys did a really, really good job. But it also told me something too. It also told me your chemicals are good, your equipment's good, and the micro was good. Yesterday when I went into site visits, every single alkalinity titration that was being done on my kit was coming up half the number that was coming up with everybody else. Guess what? There's a problem with my H2SO4. It was old. As soon as I threw out the H2SO4 when I got home last night and put new stuff in, what did you do when you titrated?
I got it the exact same.
You were right on, okay? So we found a problem with my kit yesterday doing a site visit at another school. And I kind of figured that was I did it once, and I thought, well, maybe it was them. Went to a second school, and same thing happened. So now I got to start questioning, my chemicals. And so my chemicals are now traded out, and so they're good, okay? So the question is, how do you then compare to other groups that do this, okay? So here's the summary of all the data from 2009, 2010, all the unknowns that we did, okay? And if you look here, you know, this bar goes up to about 50. And if you look at it, there's probably 200 or so data points on this graph. You see that? So with alkalinity unknowns, the majority of people that do unknowns are right here at about 100%. We got some people that are here, some people that are here. We want you between 80 and 120%. If you do that, then we know that you're good. And you guys, your range was 97% to 101%. So what does that tell me about you?
We're pros.
Yeah, you're really good, okay? And so you looked at alkalinity, hardness is the same thing. Here's your pHs, okay? And so what happens if we get a school that's out here consistently?
There's something wrong.
There's something going on. It's either them or the equipment. So we got to check that. So that's why we come out every year and check you guys to see how you're doing, okay? And you guys are just perfect, okay? Dissolved oxygen, same thing. Alkalinity duplicates. Yeah, we had somebody was way out over here. We had somebody was way down
How
here.
did they do that?
You know, who knows? It could be just that one sample that one time. Same thing happened here. Don't know, and I know I'm not sure if it was the same people, the same group. I mean, it could be 3 different groups. It could be the same group that was really screwing up. Okay, but so that gives you an idea of how well you guys are doing, and you're doing really well. Okay,
Awesome.
so that's why I come out, and that's what we do. So now what we know is that the numbers coming out of Eagle Valley Middle School, as they have been for the last how many years, Mr. James?
14.
The last 14 years are good numbers, and we can take them to the bank and we can do stuff with them. Okay, and so you guys are just awesome. So cool. And the other thing, just remember, you are part of something that is what? Much bigger than you. Okay. Now, if I were to draw this map for the state, there are some 200 Riverwatch sites in the state, and many of them are doing what you're doing, and sampling a couple stations. So we have probably 300 to 400 places being sampled every single month on every single river in the state. Okay. And is that important?
Very.
Very important. Very important for our future. And so that's the big picture. So you guys are awesome. Okay. I have a couple of questions to ask Mr. James, and you guys are good to go. Okay.